Hey guys, Josh here for another speed build, and in today's video I'll be showing you how I recreated Niagara Falls on Maple Island, which is my island inspired by Canada. So the very first thing I had to do was to terraform, as this was a pretty big project. There was a lot of terraforming involved, and I had about 12 hours of footage in total. So I did my best to try to compact it in a 15 minutes video. But just keep in mind that I'll have to skip through some parts, especially when it comes to the terraforming. But that being said, I hope you still enjoy and can find some inspiration from this. As you can see in the bottom right corner, we have a little reference picture. So if you guys have never been to Niagara Falls, or if you don't really know what it's like, so this is it. It's a very beautiful place. So I hope you all can go at some point in your life. It is definitely worth it. And yeah, the reason why we have this reference picture in the corner is because this is footage from a live stream, and I had it there in the live stream. But don't worry, it's gonna go away in a few minutes. And yeah, when I was terraforming, I had two distinct areas in mind. So this first part where I'm working right now, it's just a straight part of the river with the waterfalls at the back. And then on the right side, the river widens and it creates this kind of circle, or more squarish area in this case, with the waterfalls on the back, also on the right side and all around. So this is pretty much the shape and the general outline of this build, and I was quite satisfied with it. For me, when it comes to terraforming, I feel like the hardest part is not only getting the shape, but getting the size right. I don't want everything to be too big, but also don't want everything to be so small that it looks very underwhelming. And as it is very impressive in real life, I wanted to get the same kind of feeling in the game, which was really hard, but in the end I was quite happy with what I did. So as you can see now, I'm just expanding. So I'm building the third cliff, the third layer, and just expanding all around and getting the area ready for the waterfalls. So the next step after building the cliffs was to actually start creating these waterfalls and put some water. As you can see, I even put the waterfalls on the bottom part where you can't see, just so you can have the sounds of the waterfalls, and it just adds some realism. And then yeah, as you can see right now, I'm putting the waterfalls all around. And there will be a problem with this that you'll see in a minute, is that even though it looks really beautiful in real life, when you make it in game like this, it looks very squarish and kind of very boring. So I'll have to go back later and try to break down these waterfalls with some extra details, just to make them look a little bit better in game. So even though like with these little cliffs and rocks in between the waterfalls, that's not something you can really see in the real ones, but sometimes if you try to recreate something from real life in Animal Crossing, you just need to go a little bit away from how it looks like in real life, just so it can look good in Animal Crossing, right? If that makes any sense. So just by breaking down these big waterfalls into smaller waterfalls with some rocks and stuff, I think it already looks better. And then I tried to extend the river also at the back. I'm actually still working on this area. The back of my island is still completely empty, so I'm not gonna make any kind of transition between the different areas of my island in this video. It's really gonna be just the view from the waterfall. So here's how it looks like right now. And after that, once that was done, I kind of built the lower cliff all around the waterfalls. So yeah, as I said, there was a lot of terraforming and I'm skipping a lot. And actually this project I started early December, so it's snowing right now. So this is about like 3 months old, and I was just kind of procrastinating a lot on this video. But yeah, there was a lot of terraforming. And after that, I was placing the path. So in real life, there's a kind of a boardwalk, or maybe like a plaza, or just somewhere where people can walk and watch the waterfalls and sit down and like eat some snacks and just hang out, right? So I wanted to recreate this kind of area, so I'm using some fences, and later on you'll see sorry, there's already some furniture there. But yeah, I wanted to recreate an area where people can play some music. There will also be a coffee shop that you'll get to see later on in the video. And right now I'm on the back of the island, just working on trying to create small little islands where I can place some trees and bushes that you'll be able to see from the other side of the waterfalls. So as you can see, I'm just planting some saplings and just trying to make this area look very natural, so you have a beautiful view from the other side. So here's how it looks when everything is grown up. I think it looks pretty cute, and I made these little stepping stones as well that we'll get to see a little bit more in details later. And after that, what I was doing was just adding some details in the little rocks that are between the waterfalls. So I feel like that's such a little touch that can make everything look better. So just plant some bushes, or if you have some stepping stone custom designs, you can place that, and you can place a little rock on top. As you can see, I tried placing a cypress tree as well. So yeah, there's a lot of things you can try and experiment, but I feel like it makes such a big difference just to place some stuff, some stones and designs on these rocks. And of course, I'll place some on these stepping stones as well. I've always wanted to have some stepping stone areas on my islands. On my first island, I had an area with 2 or 3, but this one I kind of went overboard a little bit. So you have to jump like 6 times to go from a place to another. But every time I go through there, I feel like it's a lot of fun and it's just very enjoyable. So I like it a lot. And it was kind of tricky actually to work in these areas because as you can see here, I was kind of stuck. And yeah, sometimes I'm struggling with terraforming in the river. It's kind of a puzzling sometimes, but in the end, I think it turned out pretty good. I'm also using log stakes. I feel like I don't use these a lot, but they look pretty good along with the mush stools. And yeah, it's a very natural area, which I like. And then I went back to terraforming, to decorating the plaza, just with some more fences. And on this side, on the right side, as you can see, I have the museum. So if you go to Niagara Falls, there's this building, which is, I guess it's like an information kiosk. But yeah, I thought the museum would be quite fitting for that. So you can get some information, you can learn about the waterfalls and all of that fun stuff. So I decided to place the museum there. And for me, this area was actually quite hard to decorate. I feel like I'm not that good at decorating boardwalks and stuff. Like, I knew what kind of items I wanted to use. I wanted lots of benches, street lamps, the marketplace, decoration. But as you can see, I was just trying to move things around and I couldn't figure out what was the best way, the best spot to place things. So yeah, there's gonna be lots of changes, but that's just how it is, right? It's just trial and error. You try something, you don't like it, and you change, and that's how you end up finding what you really like and having good results. So yeah, just a lot of trial and error. And then you'll see over here, I was trying to create a little kind of coffee shop vibe by placing some tables. But once again, I was having a really hard time and I was feeling very uninspired and I felt like I couldn't do anything. So I just took a break from this for a minute and I went into the river to add more details and make the view more interesting. I decided to create a boat. So if you guys go to Niagara Falls, you can actually go on this boat that goes around the waterfalls, and it is a lot of fun. So I definitely recommend you check it out if you can. And yeah, I've seen a lot of people create these kind of boats in Animal Crossing, so I decided to give it a try, and it was definitely quite challenging, but it was very interesting and a lot of fun. So I'm using simple panels. I'll give you, of course, the custom designs for the portholes and these box sofas, which are very suitable and very good for this, as well as the phone booth. And at first, my first attempt was very small, so I'll make the boat a little bit bigger, a little bit longer. Later on, you'll see that. And for the second floor, I decided to go with a rope fence, and I'll put the phone box, and I will also put an oil barrel later, which I think will give it that extra little touch that really is going to make everything look like a boat. And of course, I forgot to put the floor, so I just had to redo everything all over again, put the proper floor, and then I'm gonna redo pretty much everything the same as it was. Once again, there was not a lot of space, so as you can see, I was just struggling to try to fit everything where it's supposed to be. And after that, so I was using the bathroom sink, but I found out that it looks a lot better with the drink machine. I also put that little puppy on the drink machine. I think it's just a fun little touch, and it just adds some life to the boat. And yeah, I'll use the bathroom sink in that corner because I didn't have any more white drink machines, but I think the drink machines are better than the bathroom sink because they just cover more space, so they hide the cliff a little bit better. But anyway, that's pretty much how it looked like this. I think it's pretty good, but I felt like it would look better if I just moved everything back from one space. So yeah, that's what I did. It was a lot of work, but I decided to just move everything back by one, and it's gonna look even better. So yes, this first attempt at the building a boat was definitely interesting. I think it's fun to try to build something you've never built before, instead of always building the same things, right? So it was definitely a fun experiment, and hopefully I can build more stuff like that in the future. And yeah, let me know in the comments, guys, what you think of this little boat. It's one of my favorite areas of this Niagara Falls build. And here's how it looks. I don't know if you guys can spot the difference from before, but it just looks a little bit smaller. It looks a little bit more like it's in the river. Oh, and yeah, one more thing that I changed, I added these 2 more box corner sofas in the front, just to make the front of the boat a little bit more narrower and make it look more like a boat. But yeah, I think the result is quite good. And then I was working on that coffee shop. So at first I wasn't sure if I wanted to build a Beaver Tails or a Tim Hortons, which is a very popular coffee shop in Canada. And Beaver Tails is very, very delicious pastries, but I decided to go for Tim Hortons because it was easier to find a custom design for that. But yeah, it's just a cute little coffee shop. And yeah, the custom design came, so the same creator made the Tim Hortons logo as well as this menu, so everything came together, so it was super easy to make, and I think it turned out pretty cute. And over here on this side, I'm just making a little area where people can park their bikes. I will also have a little scooter over there. So yeah, I feel like this area was a bit hard to decorate because it's very narrow, like just in front of the museum, and I don't have any space to make a nice museum entrance or anything like that. So yeah, just a little area to park some bikes. I have my little wheelchair at the back as well, a little scooter. I changed the color of the wheelchair just so it fits a little bit better with the scooter. And over here, I'll put some trees, some bench. That's pretty much it for this area. I kept it fairly simple, but I like things when they are simple. And over here, I made some space to put a house. So at first, this is a chief's house, so you can see it like this. I think that looks pretty good. I actually ended up moving Chief's house to somewhere else on my island. So right now it is Fauna's house, which is there. But anyway, it's all fine. And then over here, I was struggling a lot with this part. As with everything else, I wasn't sure where to put stuff, where to put my benches, where to put my trees. So once again, just a lot of trial and error, trying to move things around. And yeah, thank you to everybody on stream who was helping me with this, trying to figure things out, find out which way looked best. But yeah, as I always say, in the end, it was pretty good, I think. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for the speed build of Niagara Falls. So here's how it looks like at the end. As you can see, I added some more details that maybe you didn't notice during the speed build, but I hope you enjoyed. I hope you were able to get some inspiration from this. If you did, feel free to leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you think. And please subscribe if you'd like to see more Animal Crossing content like this. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a good day and take care. Bye bye.